So I'm getting better at hooking up the plow. Where's my dang seatbelt at? That was definitely my fastest time ever. Probably about 5 minutes. So just a quick little recap what's going on. We got a lot of ice. It actually caught me by surprise. We'll go into that later. But just got a call from a gas station in my hometown that is wanting all the slush pushed off. And I'm like, yeah, definitely, I'll come do it. Give me a reason to use this plow. So that's what we're gonna go do. So I didn't even have my plow hooked up when I went out. When I went out this morning, because we just didn't get any snow. I mean, we got a lot of ice and a little bit of snow, I guess, but definitely not enough to push, and it was done. So I didn't even hook up the plow. I just went out and salted some of the stuff that I needed to salt. And then they called me about an hour ago, and I was like, well, I got a few more things to do, but I can come by, you know, after that. And they were like, yeah, sweet. So that's what happened. So I had to go back to the shop, hook up the plow and all that. Still not sure what I'm going to get to push. I really don't, because I just don't, you know, from the parking lots that I've seen and I've done, there's just nothing to push. So I guess we'll find out here in a little bit. So this was kind of the start of a very long day. It ended up being right around 36 hours that I was up, and most of that was salting. But I did get to push a little bit, as you guys can see. And basically the morning started off with just going out. I had 3 properties to start the day. You know, that's just the properties that I've had all year long. And I ended the day with 7 properties, or 7 parking lots to take care of. And what was happening was, you know, these commercial properties, you know, people weren't able to get in their parking lots because it's so slick, or they're having trouble. They're worried about people falling, all that kind of stuff. So my phone was just ringing off the hook. And for a little bit there, we got really, really busy because I was just kind of just going and knocking stuff out. And then we had a ice melt shortage. So where I usually get my ice melt at, they were out. And I was like, man, what am I gonna do? So I go over here to a local store called Atwood's. They didn't have any. Ended up having to drive 30 minutes out of my way, or out of town, just to get some more salt. And that was kind of worrying me a little bit. I was wondering if I had enough salt to get all these properties done. And if I don't, where am I gonna get some more salt at? I actually ended up working out very, very well. And I ended up with 2 bags left. Everything else got used. So we're looking pretty good. All right, well, since most of the stuff that I did that night was salting, I'm gonna show you guys some footage of my my sno-way spreader. And here I am loading it up, and I did this a lot. Ended up going through roughly about 2 pallets worth of salt, probably somewhere around 100 bags. And my arms, my shoulders were very, very sore after this night. And this is where a lifted truck does not come into my benefit, having to lift them bags up out of the truck. But anyway, we got her done. So anyway, this Salter here holds comfortably about 200 pounds. If you jam it in there, you can get about 225, 250 in there, and it works out pretty well. I actually started kind of getting used to this thing that night, since I used it so much. I hadn't used it a whole bunch, so I wasn't quite used to the spread of it or anything like that. And now that I can actually go back and look at the footage, I realize I probably should have bumped it up a little bit to get a little bit of wider spread, but it actually worked out pretty well. It's actually, you can kind of tell in some spots where there's light where it's actually spreading out a little bit farther than what you can see. But I do think I needed a little bit wider, especially on that little section there, to get it all the way back up in there. But yeah, I like I said, I really got comfortable with this thing. I loaded it numerous times, and I used it like I said, 7 different parking lots, 2 or 3 times a piece. So we ended up going through a lot of salt, and I didn't really realize how much it shakes when I'm driving. As you can see it there, it's kind of wobbling, but I think that's a good thing because it actually filters it down. I did have a problem with this when I first started using it, that the salt wasn't funneling down to that little open area where it comes out. But now I've kind of figured out to where, you know, if I know I got salt in there and I know I haven't ran out and it's, you know, not coming out, then, you know, I just kind of slam on my brakes real quick and it kind of, you know, pushes it all down to that funnel. Yeah, I think next year I'll probably end up having a vibrator installed on this, so it will kind of just shake and kind of move it all the way down. But I've kind of learned how to go, you know, kind of deal with that for right now, and it's too late in the season for me to go spend more money on that kind of stuff right now. I've figured out how to work around it. But one thing that actually amazes me is how much, you know, 250 pounds of salt, how fast, how quickly it goes. And you know, this is a very small parking lot, and right here I'm about to run out. So yeah, it uses up a lot of salt, it spreads it, and it works really well. So all in all, not a bad day at all. Very exhausting day, as most of you guys know that do salt and do snow. Sometimes the days can just drag on forever, and I felt like this day kind of did that. But nonetheless, I did have fun plowing. I really wish we would have got some more snow. I really wish we would have got snow all year long, because I think plowing is something that I might actually enjoy. I had fun doing it this time, but I'm sure, you know, as a lot of you guys will probably end up telling me that, you know, the more you do it, the more, you know, kind of the fun kind of gets sucked out of it a little bit. But I really enjoyed doing it today. The salting is pretty easy work. I mean, you do the parking lot with your spreader, you get out, you do the sidewalks, you're back in the truck. Not a big deal. So it was good to get out and actually make some money and get out and kind of use the equipment that I invested and not have it sit in the shop all winter long and not get to use it. But I will say, kind of wish I would have got to use it a little bit more. I think this might be our last snow or ice event. It's coming up March. We usually don't get a whole lot in March. It just kind of is what it is. I guess we'll pray for some more stuff next year. Well, I guess that's all I got for you on this video. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.